Good morning, everybody. How are we doing, Sammy United People's TV? We have got a busy Monday show lined up. The Euros final was last night. The Copa America final was last night. Manchester United play tonight at 5 p.m. How? Anyway, Man United play tonight at 5 p.m. I'm going to be speaking about that later in the show. A little bit of a preview on the Rosenborg game, the travelling squad. Omar Barada started officially on Saturday. Man United announced Joshua Zirkzee yesterday. Man United are pushing hard for Leny Yoro as a statement signing. We'll bring you the latest on Ligt, on Kambwala to Villarreal, on... It's a busy show. It is a seriously busy Monday. How are you all doing? Have a good weekend? England are just... We'll speak about that. I don't actually need sunglasses, at least, because England didn't win. So I was in bed at a very reasonable time last night. And it would have been very unreasonable had England won. But they didn't. Who could have predicted that? Apart from me, apart from you, apart from pretty much everyone. It went to plan. It's going to be a busy show. I'll try and cover everything, as I always do. Now, let's say hello to everyone. Carl, good morning to you from the Mod Gang. We've got Alex there too. We've got Saw T at the start of the show as well. Josh, you're there. Ian, I can see you as well. How you doing, buddy? We've got John. How you doing, mate? From the Memory Gang, we've got Tyrell. We've got Peter, Garlic Bread. We've got Maddie. We've got Thomas. We've got a couple of Johns, Double John, J-Man. And on Facebook, we've got Ramon. Good morning to you. Epex, Wayne, and Troy, and Al Haji. Good morning to all of you. Always makes me laugh when I see some comments on or just on the lives after the live. Some people are like, oh, man, it's so annoying. Man, why do you have to say hello to everyone? Doesn't happen. I don't care what anyone else does. This is how United People's TV operates. You enjoy it, you come and be part of it, you will enjoy it. If not, just pop off somewhere else. Anyway. It went exactly as I thought it was going to go. Spain are a better football team. Spain were the best team at the Euros and deserved to win it. Spain dominated. England sat deep. England did exactly what you predict they are going to do under Gareth Southgate. And it happened again. Kobbie Mainoo had a brilliant tournament. Kobbie, 8 months ago, wasn't even a starter for Manchester United because of the injury that curtailed the start of his season. And then he was there starting in the quarterfinal, the semi-final, and the final for England. Massive development for him this summer. Of course, he's going to be disappointed, but what a year of just personal development it's been for him. So fantastic for that. But for Gareth Southgate, Rex, I think you just sent in a super chat there, and it might sort of say basically what I'm going to say. Rex said, I have hope for United, but gutted about the national team. Southgate didn't learn anything from the last final, and he needs to go. Look, I know that stats don't tell everything, but this one caught my eye. And I don't need stats to be able to explain to you the issues that England had, all right? England created less expected goals, so that's the goal threat that England had across the whole tournament, than Croatia did, and they went out of the group stage. England had 4 more games than Croatia did and created less goal-scoring opportunities and somehow got to the final. That one just sort of like, wow, that took me by surprise. Yeah, Shaw did have a good game, I'll be honest. I was really worried for him. Having his first start since February up against the player of the tournament in Leny Yoro was crazy, but he did very well. So, England are England. I think Gareth Southgate has done a brilliant job from the team that he inherited to the team that we have now. But Gareth Southgate defaults to a certain position in games where it's on the line. And it's because he's a centre-back. He's a defender. His natural disposition is to back off, to sit deep. And I don't think that's going to win tournaments with this England team. Fair. It is what it is, man. Nobody was really surprised with it. Nobody at all. Shax, I see you down there. Let's say hello and let's Casemiro, man. Oh, I've lost my train of thought. Casemiro, you take over.
Good morning. Hello.
That always puts a smile on my face. Speaking of putting smiles on my face, let's move on from talking about the disappointment of England. Come on. Lisandro Martinez there, holding the Copa America, holding both Copa Americas that he's won with Argentina and the World Cup in between. He really does. He's won a lot of trophies in the last 3, 4, 5 years. Martinez started. Martinez completed, I think it was 120 minutes, wasn't it? Because it went to extra time. I think it was Lautaro Martinez who got the winner for Argentina, 1-0. The perfect international ending for Messi, even though he went, wasn't perfect because he went off injured. But to see Lisandro Martinez have the tournament that he has had, right? He needs to go on a break now. I mean, we will see him in the preseason. But that preseason, I suppose it began for Martinez with that tournament. I'm not even sure that Argentina conceded a goal with him on the pitch. I really am not sure. Look at this. Let's pull this video up. Let's turn the sound down. Don't need that on it. There he is. Lifting that trophy. Class. Absolutely class, man. It's just, I'm just happy to see that he stayed fit. I'm happy to see that not only he stayed fit, but played extremely well. And he won the tournament. Just, it helps him develop even more. And speaking of development, and I said this quite a few times, but look at that, man. Garnacho, his little boy, I think his boy's called Enzo. And his wife, I'm guessing they're married. Not sure. Anyway. This tournament would have been such an important step for Garnacho's development. And I said, we had the two options. Manchester United had the two options, and so did Garnacho. The Olympics or Copa America. Now, did Garnacho play loads? No. Did he play? He got some minutes, hardly any at all. But just simply being part of that Argentina squad, to be there for Messi's last international tournament, it's lifelong memories that have been created, and he was part of that changing room, like right here. Watch this. This make you laugh. There he is. He had a great time. He had a great time, and so did both of them. So it's just, again, if we're speaking about development, Garnacho and Mainu, the year that they have both had, amazing. And they're both 19. They're both 19. Go down here and read some of your comments out. I think there's a couple of super chats there. You got Roy just saying, worried about Shaw getting mandatory time off and missing a lot of preseason training with the club. Well, Luke Shaw was his first game since Feb. He was fit enough to play, and he looked quite good. So right now, Shaw's fit, but exactly. I'm not sure how much you can really trust that next season. Garlic Bread, you're saying, not sure if it's too early for jokes, but wanted to point out that Gandhi beat the British again. That's a waste of a super chat, isn't it? Come on, man. Be better. Nars, you're saying Martinez needs to add the Premier League. Hey, look, next season. Next season. Could be. Could be. It won't be. But it could be, technically. And you know, he's speaking about the fitness of Shaw down there. I see dead people. Well, he's not dead. Malacia is back in training. Genuine training. It's not Photoshop. It's not AI. That is Malacia at Carrington training. Now, he's training individually, but it's been a full year out. A full year out for Malacia. Man, it must be so hard mentally as an athlete to just miss an entire season. Like Phil Jones missed years and years and years. It must just be very, very frustrating. Very frustrating. But Malacia is back in training. Let's see what goes on. He's not part of the travelling squad for the Rosenborg game tonight. Rosenborg. Maybe he'll be involved in the I imagine he'll be part of the pre-season travelling squad, but maybe simply just to train. Right, just to train. Now, let's move on and let's talk transfers. And the transfer that was completed yesterday, we got the announcement from Manchester United and the photos have dropped. Joshua Zirkzee at the club. How tall is Erik ten Hag? Is he like 6 foot? Because Zirkzee is a unit. An absolute unit. He's 6'4". Anyway, there he is in the new kit. Joshua Zirkzee, done and dusted, and that's him there chilling out at Old Trafford. I'm very much looking forward to watching him play for the club because as much as I've done my research and I've looked into him, I've watched his time at Bologna and I've read up on him. I still don't know where he's going to play for Manchester United. I don't know what position. I don't know what the formation is going to be next season, and that's probably what I'm looking out for tonight the most. I think tonight we are looking at, well, I am anyway. I'm not looking at saying who's the best performer. I'll be looking at some of the youth players, etc. But I'm going to be looking at the system. I'm going to be looking at the style of play. Will there be any tweaks and changes? That's what I think. So that's what I want to look for anyway. Chris, thanks for super chat, dude, saying thanks for all the hard work. I appreciate it, man. It's been a really enjoyable summer. As I said to you earlier, I think it was on yesterday's show. Thank you for making it such a successful couple of weeks. Because the quality of the content I've been putting out, I'm very proud of, and you've been responding to it. United People's TV will never thrive in negativity. We just won't. It doesn't work. I'm not entertaining when United. I'm not entertaining. If you want entertainment, you know where to go. But that's just not me, and that will never be me. So it's good that when we've had a big surge, like so many of you joining in and becoming part of the community, it's because United are doing well and because we're covering it well here on United People's TV. And I'm happy about that. That's what it should be. Do you see this little video as well? This is Zirkzee being asked about when Mainu spoke to him after the Netherlands-England Euros semi-final.
Did you speak to Kobe after the game? The scene that you... Yeah, there was a screenshot of you two chatting.
He just asked me if I was coming.
He asked if you were coming?
Yeah.
And you just winked at him and was like, yeah.
I said, see you soon after the final.
There he is. So I imagine we'll see him probably, I think for the Arsenal. Is it Arsenal? Anyway, in the pre-season tour, I think Arsenal game is the first one. We've got Rosenborg tonight, and then we've got Rangers on Saturday. And then the week after, I think, is the pre-season tour. Right, let's move on. Let's actually talk about signings. More signings. And I spoke about this one in a full story yesterday. I looked into... Clearly, United are at least interested in Ivan Toney. You've got... The Athletic have said it, Laurie Whitwell, Mark Critchley. You've got James Ducker, who said it from the Telegraph as well, and I consider them two of the strongest sources when it comes to Manchester United news. Both said that Manchester United have got at least an interest in Ivan Toney, and maybe it's the fact that he's got 1 year left on his deal. Maybe it's the fact that United feel that they could get a cut price deal. However, I don't personally think that Manchester United should be looking at spending £40 million or more on Ivan Toney this summer. And it's not because I think he's a bad player. I think he's a very good player. I just do not think it's the right fit for what we need this summer. There's too many priorities ahead of Ivan Toney, and the fact that we play with a one striker system you've just signed Joshua Zirkzee, who's not really going to be a striker per se, but he will score goals. I don't know. Maybe if the price was cheaper, I might be more open to the idea of signing Ivan Toney. But Ricky, it's not that he wouldn't fit in, but it's the idea he will want to start every single week ahead of Haaland, ahead of Zirkzee. I don't know how you manage that. Secondly, 40 million is a big wedge. Man United do not have much money this summer. And I'm going to put signing 2 centre-backs. I probably would put 2 central midfielders all ahead of signing Ivan Toney. And I don't think we're going to be able to do all that. So if we sign Ivan Toney, I think it takes away from where we actually need to spend money this summer. That's what I mean about it being a good fit. Probably not. It's just not a good fit, I don't think, for our summer plans. And John, you've put it down there as well, and I've said this. All the players we're linked with this summer. Leny Yoro, 18. Jared Branthwaite, 21. We just signed Joshua Zirkzee, 22. Ugarte, 22. There's others as well. Ivan Toney's 28. Ivan Toney, you're signing a player who's at the peak of his value and is not going to go up in value. And I don't think that's long-term planning. That's the sort of signing you make when your team's really, you've got this solid squad. We just need a striker with Premier League experience. Boom. I think it would work. Not for me. Let's find out if United actually explore it. And then we move on to speaking about Leny Yoro. Now, I did the full story on Leny Yoro last week. I just made it clear at the start of the video. I said, look, right, would be a very good signing. Would be a great signing. I saw somebody at the start there. Oh, what? Don't big him up, Sam, already as a marquee signing. Oh, he hasn't even blah, blah, blah. Talk about misinterpretation. Let me explain what I mean by marquee signing. Real Madrid want Leny Yoro. Leny Yoro is clearly, obviously, one of the best defensive talents in European football. Whole career ahead of him. It would be a marquee signing if Manchester United were able to convince Leny Yoro that Man United is a place that he wants to be. That's why it would be a marquee signing. Because it would show that Leny Yoro's got belief and trust in Man United and the direction that we're now heading. And I think I've spoken about this before. Like previously when Man United went into a transfer window, imagine who we had trying to convince players that the United project was the right one. Like John Murtough, Richard Arnold, Matt Judge. It's the most uninspiring thing in the entire world. Non-football men. Well, not John Murtough per se. But still. You've now got Omar Barada, who's been at City, who's been at the elite winners over the last 10 years, and he's now the CEO you're speaking to. You've got Dan Ashworth, who you're now speaking to. The people who are convincing are far more convincing, and you can trust them more. So that's what I mean about the idea of him being a marquee signing. Hey, look, I still don't think that he would join. I still think that he would go Real Madrid. But you're just seeing more and more suggestions, right? This is the same story as it was last week. There's no development on that. But sort of just like the whispers coming out of the French press saying that Man United we're really, really trying to sign Leny Yoro. We're forcing him to make a decision. Rather than it being, well, no, man, I'm going Real Madrid. I'm not even going to there's no decision to make. I'm definitely joining Real Madrid. It feels like he's making a decision. Now, one thing that we have to say here straight away, if Leny Yoro joins Manchester United 3 years maybe before he joins Real Madrid-ish, am I offended by that? No. Real Madrid are just on Real Madrid. In the last 10 years when we've gone absolutely firing downhill, they've won it all. Still continuing to. So if Manchester United can get Leny Yoro and he just develops and just becomes this world-class defensive masterpiece for 3 seasons and then we sell him for a big profit, it is what it is. We can't keep him at the club forever. That wouldn't happen. Does it mean that I wouldn't want to sign him, though? Nah. Fat chance. But yeah, just kind of everywhere you're looking is from the whispers from France. There's just suggesting that Man United really are putting up a convincing case as to why he should choose to join Manchester United at this point in his career rather than Real Madrid. If I was to put money on it, I'd still say that he's going to go Real Madrid. But we're preparing the latest sort of transfer profile. Going to be doing it on Leny Yoro. It might be a waste of time because he might not join and he might go to Real Madrid. But they're some of my favorite videos that I'm doing this summer because I think they help. I'm going to go down there and read some of your questions and your comments about Leny Yoro. Who's talking about Danny Olmo? He's got like a 60 mil release clause, something like that. People have mentioned the City. Probably wanted City. Chris is saying Zirkzee wants in Milan. See where he is now. I can convince you now that Manchester United as a project is in a seriously better position than it was 2 years ago, and it wouldn't be very difficult. I could explain it all to you, and why Manchester United now is a far more exciting prospect than even last season. It wouldn't be hard. And maybe that's exactly what United are doing. Mainly you're saying we are too late in the discussions with Yoro. Don't think we were. We were interested in him back in January, but Lille just were not going to sell him. No, Lons. No, Lille. Hey, let's see what goes on, all right? My prediction is still that he goes to Real Madrid, but it might not be the case. Now, I want to pull this up here because this is quite important as well. And I think I said this quite a few times on this channel, that this would happen. Well, I didn't say that Amadou Onana would go to Villa. I didn't see it coming. You didn't see it coming. I think Villa are having an absolute fantastic summer so far. Just the work that's happened under Emery. They've got owners with ambition to win. They've got owners who trust their manager. They've got owners who are supporting the manager. They got into the Champions League, and they are trying to build on that, man. They are so trying to build on that Champions League qualification. And Onana is a brilliant signing for them. I would have loved Onana at United. I think he could have been the perfect foil and the perfect balanced midfield with Manu and Bruno. Still stand by that. Absolutely stand by that. Oh, look at that. Wow. Mihal, how you doing, dude? Mihal Ivanov gifted 10 memberships. Come on. Let's get Casemiro out again. 10 of you, join the Discord. Do another Q&A next week. Get involved.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello.
Darko saying, do you sometimes dream of a Here We Go happening during your morning live show? My dreams are much better than that. But the reason I'm speaking about this is twofold. Number one, I'm jealous. I do think Onana would have been a very good signing. But number two, in my opinion, and I'll go to the whiteboard, which I've updated, that now moves Jared Branthwaite down into the it's not going to happen category. All right? We know full well that Manchester United have put a bid together totaling £50 million. They've rejected it. Because Onana now has been sold, Everton do not have to sell Branthwaite for any less than they want to this summer. Exactly the same scenario as Dortmund with Sancho. Right? Alex, oh, there you go. We've got the pre-match stage tonight in Discord and the transfer show tomorrow. There's stuff that happens inside Discord, which isn't me. It's the community with Alex and all the other community leaders creating content specifically inside the Discord. So get involved in it. It's for the community and you'll love it. So get involved. Anyway, in my opinion, that's the end of any conversations around Jared Branthwaite, which may explain why Manchester United are now, well, it's not now, but we really are pushing for Yoro. Right? Really are pushing for Yoro. Imagine that, right? Manchester United this summer, we sell Victor Lindelof. Rafa Varane leaves on a free. And we signed Ligt and Yoro. Boy, that is like a Fiat to a Ferrari upgrade. Really is. But the fact that Everton have now sold, and I think I called it a while ago, and it was kind of obvious. It felt like Everton this summer were far more likely to sell Amadou Onana, cash in on him. That will help their PSR. Keep Jared Branthwaite, probably have an even better season next season, and probably sell him for, if not 70 million, maybe even more. I think Jared Branthwaite's only going to go up in value. But they've cashed in on Onana, and I think that ends the Branthwaite conversations. Hence why Yoro really is, in my opinion, really being pushed up the importance scale. Is there an importance scale? I don't really know. Martin, it's a good question. Saying if we don't get Yoro, who's next on the list? Now we go back to the whiteboard and we can see was it David Hanko from Feyenoord? He was linked as an alternative. That's already happened. So it might be him. Nothing's really happened on Gehi because it will be too expensive. Luchumi. I still think Luchumi would be a good signing, but nothing's happened on that front. Inacio would be too much. Tapsoba could happen, but they're by Leverkusen are already selling Jonathan Tah to Bayern Munich, so I don't think they're going to sell him as well. Diamande, heard nothing on that. And there's loads of others there they haven't really heard too much on. But we don't know yet. And I don't really know. Was there that one there? No. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. It's all going wrong. Let's move on. Let's speak about this one, because this came over the weekend. And it kind of surprised me, but actually, I think it could make a lot of sense if a sale's included in it as well. Xavi Simons is a player who burst into the scene at PSV under Ruben Nistelrooy. And you've got Simon Mullock from the Mirror saying that Manchester United are interested in making a loan move for him. Now, what is the situation with Simons? Is it... Who has he actually played for? Because I know, because was it PSG and Leipzig and Bayern Munich, and I don't actually know who bloody owns him. Transfer marked. Is it Leipzig? No, it's PSG. Is he? I have no idea. Complicated. Let me look at this. Right. PSG. So he went to PSG on loan. No, he transferred for 4 mil to PSV. That's where he burst through under Rude. And then he was sold back to PSG. And then he was loaned from PSG to Leipzig. And that ended. And now he's gone back to PSG. So he's a PSG player. Right. Well, that clears it up. Ish. Anyway. Manchester United are considering a loan move for him. I can see you talking down there about Kambwala. Apparently, we've got the official announcement. Kambwala was coming up very, very soon. There we go. Got that here. Yeah, that's come out. Let me just get this photo up and ready for you, ladies and gents. This is why we're live and direct. AJ Tracy. Right. Let me go over here. Okay. Close that. Right, let's go back and let's just quickly finish this conversation around Xavi Simons. Because if you look at the squad that we've got now, I don't particularly see where Xavi Simons fits in. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad signing, but it would just be an utter depth signing. Not in a bad way. But like we can hardly play with Mason Mount last season. So where's Mason Mount going to fit in? Where do you fit Xavi Simons in? Because he's better as more of an attacking central midfielder, really. However, I think if you tie it into this, it makes a lot of sense. Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay's purpose for Manchester United last season, the strengths of Scott McTominay were as a box-crashing midfielder. Goals. The goal threat of McTominay was the threat that he had. If you take Scott McTominay, so there's, I think, there you go, Galatasaray's board of director member. Galatasaray are interested in signing Scott McTominay. If Scott McTominay were to leave and Manchester United were to replace him in the squad with Xavi Simons, then it does make a lot of sense. Because Simons is somebody who is a lot more progressive with the ball at his feet. He does have a little bit of a goal threat, not probably as much as Scott McTominay in certain areas, in certain ways. But I could absolutely see McTominay leaving and Simons coming in and being an upgrade to the squad overall if you want to play a certain way of a certain style. That makes a lot of sense. Now, I don't know whether United would even be able to get Simons on loan. I mean, what are the reports saying? United have recently asked for information. Bayern Munich and Leipzig are leading the race. He was on loan at Leipzig last year, where he was doing very well, had a great season. Has he even played for PSG? I don't really know. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be an issue with Scott McTominay. Galatasaray are going to lowball us on the offer. Mount should absolutely not be sold. It's a ridiculous comment. Had a whole season where he was injured. Let's see what goes on here. But if I was to do like one in, one out, and Simons in and McTominay out, I can see that as a squad upgrade that takes Manchester United closer towards that progressive ball-playing midfield, because that's what Scott McTominay was. He's not that player. He will never be a progressive central midfielder. Ever. He might score you some goals, but you're going to have to give up playing any sort of football, and you're just going to have to go direct to play for it. Let's see what goes on there. I think it could be an interesting one if McTominay were to leave, but if not, just feels like I don't know, we're kind of going to be stacked in midfield, really, and not in the midfield area where I think we actually do need to be stacked. Right, there you go. We've got it up here. Have they got any details? Right. Let's get this up, because we've just had an official statement on this man. This is why we're live and direct. Kambwala leaves Manchester United and joins Villarreal. He's agreed to join Villarreal on a permanent transfer, bringing to a close almost 4 years as a Red. And there we've got the photo of Kambwala holding up the yellow submarine they're called. Oh, Villarreal. Just remember the De Gea penalty shootout. Oh, man. Grim. Of course, Xavi Simons is Dutch as well. Don't forget about that. That makes him a good signing. But Kambwala. Now, details on this deal. You've actually got Fabrizio Romano there saying it's a 10 million package, add-ons included. And that was when the Here We Go came out. But then you've got over here Andy Mitten actually saying it's a little bit more. He's saying it's 11.5 million. I mean, that's not how much we're getting for him up front. That's how much it could go to. And then you go to the BBC and it kind of breaks down the numbers a little bit more. Right? That's what the BBC says. United sources say they will receive an initial 4.6 million as an initial payment, with add-ons potentially taking the fee to 11.5 million. So Simon Stone from the BBC saying the same thing as Andy Mitten. So now, if we go to this, I think I've got this right. Kambwala's down there, and you can see at the top, it says add-ons are not included in any of these numbers. Any signings we make or any sales we make. It's just what's the initial cost. And not, what's the initial cost, but what's the overall initial cost without add-ons. Not how many years are being paid over. So right now, Manchester United's net spend is 2.3 mil. Because we've spent 35.76 mil on Zirkzee and we've made 35.45. I am including Greenwood in that. And I know that Greenwood hasn't been done yet. But Greenwood's going. And whether he goes to Lazio or whether he goes to Marseille, it's going to be around about that money. So that money I can count. Maybe I should take it off just for now. But Kambwala, and of course, by the way, someone's just mentioned it down there. I'll go over to the BBC because it's actually written. Man United have got a buyback option. Man United have got a massive sell-on percentage. And this, I said it a while ago, and we're just seeing more and more evidence of it. This is a new strategy for Manchester United. We offered Kambwala a contract, by the way, and he said no, because he doesn't want to be the fifth wheel, and I can't blame him for it. Johnny Evans signed a 1-year contract extension because he's fine being the fifth wheel at that age, at that point in his career. Kambwala doesn't want that. And when you see Man United going so aggressively to try and sign not one centre-back, but 2 centre-backs, you have to go, probably not going to get many opportunities next season, am I? I think it could be a fantastic signing for Villarreal. We've got the buyback. If Kambwala buries any injury issues that he had at Manchester United, of course, he missed like a whole season, and he becomes an incredible world-class defender, we've got a buyback clause. If he becomes a world-class defender and Real Madrid sign him for £80 million, we're probably going to earn about 40 to 50% of that. Fine. Totally fine. This is how you operate as a football club. You should operate as a football club. Man United previously might have just held on to Kambwala and kept him unhappy until the point where he left on a free transfer. Great. Instead, we are selling quite cheap, but we're getting big sell-ons percentages. We're getting buyback clauses. This is how we're operating now. Alvaro Fernandez, Zidane Iqbal, Woody Kambwala, and there's others too. I wish him the best of luck. He genuinely seemed to love being a Manchester United player, didn't he? He hyped up the crowd. His performances were really quite impressive when he came in. And yeah, man, I wish him the absolute best of luck at Villarreal. And it's more money, more cash in the bank, which is what we need. So that's Van der Beek gone for peanuts, Kambwala gone, and Fernandez gone. That's 3 confirmed sales. I probably should just take... I won't do it now because I've got to redo the numbers. I'll take Greenwood off the completed transfers because it's not quite completed yet. And I'll put it back onto the active board. Not the active board, the leaving board. This one. Sancho, I need to take him off because Sancho's now staying. Let me just quickly update that. Too many things for me to do. Right. That's that one done. Let me quickly look there. That's updated. Casemiro, still whispers. Lindelof, I could probably put Scott McTominay down here. I'll update that for tomorrow. But that's that one gone from there. Good luck. Right? I hope he does well. If he does well and he comes back, good. We might get a great player back. We'll find out. Roars, you're saying thoughts on Yoro picking up game time at left back and right back. I'm pretty sure he can play both, and their top choice at centre back should be Martinez and Ligt. It's going to be an interesting one, I'll be totally honest. How you convince Leny Yoro that Manchester United is the best place for him to be when we are clearly going to start De Ligt and Martinez if they're both fit. So do you want to be third choice at Manchester United, or maybe third choice, or maybe even second choice at Real Madrid? I don't actually know what's going on in Real Madrid. They've got Rudiger. I think Nacho's left to join, I think, Saudi team. So I don't know. Anyway. Man United playing tonight. It's mad. It really is mad. And I'm actually quite looking forward to it. If I'm being honest, there's a few things I want to run through, right? First things first is this. Let's go big screen on this one. New faces. Omar Barada. Dan Ashworth. Jason Wilcox. Man United have got the people in place now. We've got our CEO. We've got our sporting director. We've got our technical director. We've got our director of global talent. The foundations for a new Manchester United behind the scenes are all in place now. So much change has happened at our club since February. So much. And it's, yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm properly buzzing. And I'm more confident in the direction of Manchester United over the next few years than I have been in so long. Previously, it was basically just hope. I hoped that Richard Arnold would be different to Ed Woodward. I hoped that John Murtough could be different. But ultimately, their hands were tied. They didn't have the support network above them. Now things are different. And look, this is a letter from Omar Barada that he sent to Manchester United Supporters Trust. Just sort of explaining, this is on the first day, by the way. So he obviously had this all planned. He's just explaining how important the role of the CEO is. If you want to, you can find us on Twitter. I think it's on the YouTube community tab if you want to read this properly. But this is Omar Barada basically saying, look, things are going to be different now. I'm going to operate differently. And communication has to be part of that. All right? It's one of the biggest things. We really need a CEO to give a crap, really. And also, not just because, remember when Joel Glazer the Glazer got caught with their pants down after the Super League attempt, and United fans got the Liverpool game cancelled, and he came out with that bullcrap letter saying, communication, so important to us. We're going to be working with fans on shit like figuring out whether fans could own part of blah, 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 blah. Just all bollocks. And they never did anything. They never followed through on anything they said. That's where Omar Barada is going to be judged. Communication and actually actioning things, following through on things, listening to fans, and working together with fans rather than against them. It's going to be a big difference. Hurry. Come on, the Rude and Mr. Roy. There's Rude. There's Rude and Rene. 2 new assistant coaches. They're on the plane as well. Sweeping changes. 2 new assistants, a new CEO, new sporting director, new technical director. Come on. And this is the squad for tonight. And this is probably why I'm going to be... I'm interested and I'm excited to watch the game. All right? Go down here. 3 goalkeepers. You've got all the kids. Eli Harrison is who I want to watch in goal. For the under 18s last season, he was fantastic. He's a proper ball-playing goalkeeper. He can bait the press. He can dink it over the top. Good distribution. I want to watch him in goal. And then you've got 2 other goalkeepers there from the youth teams. Now, moving on to defence. Lots of names here that you could get excited about, right? Harry Amass is somebody who everyone wants to see start. I want to see him start as well. I'd probably like to see Louis Jackson start as a centre-back, probably alongside Johnny Evans. And you might see Ugunai play it at right-back. Don't actually know what position Oyedele is. He went on loan, didn't he? Will Fish came back. He was on loan at Hibs, I think. Don't know where Reece Bennett went on loan. Was it Stockport? Might have been Stockport. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's there as well. So maybe he'll start. Yes, you're right. You're saying I've yet to see McLaren. As far as I know, McLaren's currently sick. I just think he's unwell. And that's why he's not been seen anywhere. Midfield. Who's been taken in midfield? Here you go. Casemiro's there. Toby Collier, who just signed his first... No, he just signed an extension to his contract, I think. Jack Fletcher. I'm excited to watch Jack Fletcher. Hannibal's there. Hannibal will be sold this summer. I think so anyway. Sam Mather, that's quite an exciting one. Mason Mount, he needs this preseason big time. Big time. James Scanlon had a really impressive season, and so did Ethan Williams. I think he scored like 15, 16. He's a midfielder, but he's more of a winger. And then up front, Rashford's there, Wheatley's there, Joe Hugel, and Ethan Ennis. So there's a couple of senior players. You've got Rashford, Casemiro, Mason Mount, Johnny Evans, Wan-Bissaka. But there's some exciting youngsters. I would love to see both of these two. Jack Fletcher has got... I don't know, there's something quite satisfying about seeing a tall central midfielder who's got quite long legs, but just he can move the ball about very well. He's good with the ball at his feet, and he's quite agile for somebody who does have that sort of frame, rather than your Xavis or your Iniestas and the little magicians. Jack Fletcher's got a bit about that, but a bit about him like that, but in a different sort of frame. So I'll be excited to see if he can play. Casemiro, we don't know what's going on with him. We really don't. I hope Casemiro is sold. I hope Hannibal is sold. Where am I selling from up here? There's none there that I'm pushing out the door. There's no Dan Gore, but I believe he's had surgery. I think so. I think he's had surgery. But the game here tonight. Tomorrow on the channel, we'll thought about this. I'm going to focus. I'm going to watch the game. There'll be a match reaction up tonight with all the key talking points, right? I always bring in those. And then tomorrow, I think I want to try and do a little bit of a tactical analysis. Because this new game model, right? It's why we've got René Hake and Ruud van Nistelrooy in. It's why Mitchell van der Gag and Benny McCarthy have left. It's what Jason Wilcox has been working on. What is it? I want to see if there's any tweaks and changes there tonight against Rosenborg. Hopefully that we can see going forward. What are you saying down here in the comments? Is Dan Gore still injured? I think Dan Gore is still injured. Wheatley's another one that Andrew wants to see. He made a few appearances at the end of the season. Jack Kingdon, I think he just signed a professional contract, didn't he? No, Lacey was never going to be involved in the preseason. He missed like 6-7 months through injury last season. So unfortunately for him, the under-18s is that's where he's going to develop this season, rather than being involved. Had he had a full season under his belt, you may well have seen him there, but I don't think you're going to be seeing him. Not in the first team anytime soon. Not for this year anyway. Let me see what you're saying down here in the comments. Jordan, you're saying, will Yoro prefer being in the reserves for Madrid or a squad player here? I don't think he would be in the reserves at Real Madrid. I don't know. Maybe he's just thinking like, at 18, do I want to go to Real Madrid? Because you only get one chance at Real Madrid. If you balls it up, you balls it up. He might think, well, I think I probably would prefer to go to Real Madrid when I'm like 21, 22. And then I'm there for like 7-8 years and I win all the pots. No, that could be what he's thinking. Because to go to 18... I'm not saying it's impossible for anybody to go to Real Madrid at 18 and succeed, because they've done it. Some have done it. They've got such a ridiculously good young team. But that might be part of his thinking. I'm just trying to think, is there any way that he joins us? Maybe, maybe not. Where is Anthony? Don't know. Tyler Fletcher was injured a fair bit last season. I think that's why he's not there, but his brother Jack is. How much rest would you give Shaw and Mainu? As much as you possibly can. They've played the entire way through the whole tournament. Fitness isn't going to be an issue for pre-season. It's more about getting used to the new coaches and the new setup. So I reckon they can miss a game or two. Well, they obviously will miss the start of it. I don't know. Where's Ahmad? No idea. Ahmad was in training, actually. That's a fair point. I think Ahmad was at Carrington, or has been at Carrington. I don't know. No idea. Let's find out down here. Read a few more of your comments out and we'll wrap it up for today. Whoa, I actually have so many tabs open, I can't actually see anything apart from symbols. That might be quite a record. Let me see if there's anything else. Fire in your questions and I'll try and answer them at the end of the show. There you go. There's a little goodbye message from Woody Kambwala as well. Let's read this one out. I do wish him the best of luck, man. Seems like a really good kid. I arrived at the club as a boy with a dream, and today I'm leaving like a young man who has fulfilled his dream. From the academy to the first team, it's time for me to start a new adventure after 4 wonderful seasons. Thank you to all the people I've met, coaches, teammates, staff members, workers, and members of my host family. So that when he came over, you get a host family, I think, because he came from abroad. It's like doing foreign exchange. Anyone ever do foreign exchange at school? I never did. I'm glad I didn't, because I was not a good kid. I grew up well, though. A special thank you to all the fans who have supported me. You're the soul of this club. I wish you the best for this season. And there's Cobby giving it big love, bro. All the best. Yeah, man. Good luck to him. Good luck to him. What are we saying down here? Yeah, they might be involved versus Rangers. Someone asked that. What's your favourite United goal? Man, your memories work better than mine, because I cannot think about that off the top of my dome. Yeah, I didn't think that Oyedele was a defender. I thought it was a bit weird that he was down there. Everyone asking where people are incredibly stupid. They're on holiday. The Kadioglu rumours are a bit, I don't know, they feel like gossip and guff right now, Alex. Kadioglu's the Turkish left back. There hasn't been any major movement or anybody saying that anything's actually going to happen just yet. So we'll just leave that. Need to go for Rabiot, says Simo. No. Nope. No, thank you. Nil point. No chance do I want Man United to sign Rabiot. Amount of work we've got to try and do to get our contracts in order. And then you want to go and deal with Veronique Rabiot. And I'll see her demanding... You thought that Zirkzee's agent was asking for a lot of commission. Ha! You wait until you see what Veronique wants. No, thank you. No, thank you. Look, I'm going to wrap that up for today. And today's lunchtime video is another special one. Special. It's going to be the profile video of Matthijs de Ligt, looking into the elements of his game where he could really help Manchester United, looking into the strengths and weaknesses and any concerns that you may have. I think it will help you understand a bit more about his game and where he would fit in at United. Because the rumours are still going on, so I think it's the right time for me to drop that video. And also, it doesn't really get affected by the game later on, because it's a video that can carry through. So I'll be putting that out probably around about 12 o'clock, because the game's at 5. So don't want to put it out too close to the game. Thank you all for tuning in. Whew. That was a busy show. And I want to finish by bringing this up again. Bueno. Mucho bueno. Martinez holding... Oh, that's the wrong one. I was talking about this. Not de Ligt. Forgot that was still on screen. Martinez holding 2. Garnacho holding 1. Commiserations for Kobe. But he'll be back. And he's developed a lot. Big up to all of you. Make sure you join the Discord. And I'll see you tomorrow. Actually, no. I'll see you later on with the match reaction. And you got a lunchtime video. Busy. Take it easy.